Good morning, Math Wizards. I'm excited to do some extra practice with you today. So in this unit, we have been learning all about subtraction and Linus the minus. Our last lesson that we had done, if you had done it with me, we had practiced just completing the representing the subtraction story with the picture and then writing the equation. Today we're going to do our additional practice with drawing the picture to represent the story and writing the equation. So we need to pay attention to if it's asking us to add or if it's asking us to subtract. So words like more or how many are there? Words that are more or and, those are clues to us that they're asking us to add. If the math story is giving us two groups, so there are 3 blue marbles and there are 4 green marbles, how many are there all together? That's telling you that you're adding those 2 groups together. If there's 2 groups, you know there's Gus the plus. If a math story is saying that there are 9 butterflies and 5 fly away, how many are left? Words like the difference, how many are left, how many are there now, that's telling you that you are taking away. So that starts with the big number. There were 9 butterflies. 5 of them went away. That's telling you you're taking away. So you know that's Linus the minus. You need to make sure that you are writing the correct signs for the equation. So we're going to practice that today. Okay, let's make sure you have your practice worksheet and a pencil. So I'm going to write my name. I'm going to give you a second. You need to write your name on the top of your paper. The first thing I do is always the same. I pick up my pencil and I write my name. Okay. So up here in this top box, you don't have to do anything here. This says review. So it's where we just review what we've already learned, and this is practicing it. It's an additional practice because we already did it in a lesson, either whole group or in small group with our teacher. So let's look. In this box, it says that Bob plants 4 flowers in his garden. So there's 4 flowers in his garden. The next day, he plants 5 more flowers. So that word more is giving us a hint that we are going to be adding because we added 5 more. So we started with 4 flowers, then he planted 5 more. How many flowers are there now? So let's take a look. They drew 4 flowers and then 5. So 2 groups. So we know that it's Gus the plus because Gus the plus is group 1 plus group 2. We always have group 1 plus group 2 with Gus the plus. So we've got 4 for group 1 plus 5 for group 2. Equals is our total. How many are there in all? We can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 flowers in all. So that equation, remember, an equation has the numbers and the signs or symbols all together in the right order. Group 1 plus group 2 equals how many flowers there are now? 9. 4 plus 5 equals 9. So let's go down here. We're going to do this one together. Listen to the math story. We're going to draw the picture to represent it, and then we're going to write the equation. Notice these circles here are where we're going to put those signs. So our signs are the plus sign, the minus sign, and the equal sign. So we got to pay attention that we're putting those in the right place. So to start, let's see here. Monroe puts 2 eggs in his basket. So I'm going to draw 2 counters. 1, 2. Let's listen to the rest of it. Then he adds. Ooh, adds. What does that tell me we're doing, guys? We're adding. Good job. So he adds, or she adds, 5 more eggs. So I'm going to draw 5 more counters, and I'm going to make sure I keep my counters, my groups separate so I can tell which one is group 1 plus group 2. Some friends like to draw a line to separate group 1 from group 2, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So there's our group 1. We said there was 5 more eggs, so let's draw those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need to make sure that you are drawing your counters neatly. If you are just messily or sloppily drawing them all over the place, when you have to go back and count them, it can be confusing. And then you count the wrong number and you'll tell me, well, this is the equation or this is how many is there, because you couldn't keep track of what your groups were. Make sure you draw your counters. When we do our work, we do it nice and neat. All right. So how many are there now? Let's write the equation together. We knew we were adding because it said adds 5 more. So we knew we're using Gus the plus because he adds 2 groups together. So let's look. Our group 1 was there were 2 eggs in the basket. So let's write our 2. Make sure your 2 is written the correct way and not backwards. So 2, we know we're adding. So what sign goes here? Gus the plus. Let's put it there. Gus the plus, 2 plus group 2. So we have group 1 plus group 2. Let's count how many were in group 2 if we can't remember from the math story. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Added 5 more eggs to the basket. So let's draw our 5. Great job. So we have 2 plus 5. What sign do we have next? Equals. Ellie, the equal sign is going to tell us our total, how many there are now, the sum. It is, let's count how many all together. So all of them now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And friends, don't sleep on crossing out your counters while you're counting. Some of us say, oh, I got this. I can count it. All of us make mistakes, and it's a very silly mistake to stop and not have it. What you need?
I just have a quick question.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Okay, sorry for that skip there. Got interrupted. So we have, or I said, don't sleep on crossing those out. Always cross them out. Even the smartest person in the world makes mistakes and will accidentally either count one twice or not count one at all. Let's make sure we're crossing them out so we can check which ones we are, or how many we're counting. All right, let's move on to number 2. Let's listen to it. It says 6 bees land on a flower. So let's go ahead and do that. 6 bees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, there's 6 bees. 2 more bees land. So what do we think that word more says? Are we adding or subtracting if we're doing more? Adding. Very smart. So I'm going to draw a line to separate my 2 groups because we had 6 and 2 more. So 1, 2, 2 more land. How many bees are there now? So I've got my 6 and my 2. So let's go ahead and write our equation. So we know we're adding, so I'm going to go ahead and write my plus sign. And I know it's Gus the plus, group 1 plus group 2. How many's in my group 1? If you forgot, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. So let's write the number 6. Make sure your 6 is not backwards. We start up at the top, draw a line down, touch the bottom line, come back up around. There you go. Plus group 2. Group 1 plus group 2. How many is in our group 2? 1, 2. 2. Great job. So we've got 6 plus 2. What sign goes next? Ellie, the equal sign. Great job, friends. So let's count them all together. How many are there now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8. Because 6 plus 2 equals 8. Great job. Now let's flip to the back side. Ooh, great. Here, they gave us pictures to use. So we're going to draw to represent the math story. And then we're going to write the equation to solve, or that matches. Sorry. Okay, so let's listen. Number 3 with the trees. There are 8 trees in a field. A farmer cuts down 8 trees. So if there's 8 trees in a field and the farmer cuts down 8, are we adding or are we taking away and subtracting? That's right. If we're cutting them down, we're taking away the trees. So what do we do to the picture when we are taking away? That's right. We draw X's. We X out how many? So it said that we are taking away 8 trees. How many trees are there now? All right, so we're going to X out 8 trees. Let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Okay, So now let's write the equation that matches. Remember, when you are subtracting, you start with the whole number. That means all of them, the big number first. So how many trees did we start with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to write my number 8. We started with 8 trees. He cut down 8 trees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I X'd them all out. I X'd out all 8 trees. So that's minus the minus. We're taking away 8. So then how many are left? That means how many of these do not have X's? How many did we not take away? Are there any trees left? What number do we write down to represent none? 0. Good job. So I'm going to write 0. 8 minus 8 equals 0. Any number minus itself is 0. All right, great job. Let's go down here. Now, as always, I want you guys to do this one on your own. I'm going to read to you the math story. You're going to use the picture to represent it, and you're going to write the equation. So you need to write the numbers in the right place and the symbols in the right place. So let's listen. There are 7 flowers. Eileen picks 5 flowers. So if there's 7 flowers and she picks 5, are we adding or are we taking away? Okay, so once you figure that out, what signs do we need to use? How do we need to do that? So there are 7 flowers. Eileen picks 5 flowers. How many are left? So let's represent that on the picture. There's 7 flowers. She picks 5. What do you need to do to the picture? There's 7 flowers. She picks 5. Then I want you to write the equation that matches. So what are those numbers that go here? There's 7 flowers. She picks 5. How many are left? Remember what we said, that word left. How many are left? What does that mean? Okay, once you've completed all that, please double check your work. Make sure you've completed all of these. You can always rewind this if you somehow missed one. You can always pause the video if you needed more time. Double check your name is on it, and then you need to either get it checked by your teacher or you're turning it into the bin. All right? I had fun with you today, guys. Thank you so much. I will see you next time.